All right, UFC 293 going down in Sydney, Australia. Isreal Adesanya versus who? That has been the question ever since UFC 290 when Dricus du Plessis beat Robert Whittaker, when he shocked the world and became the number one contender. Then Isreal walked in there. They got in each other's faces. They started talking all kinds of crap. That was the fight we thought we were going to see. But of course, Dricus du Plessis was injured and he's backed out of that fight. He hasn't backed out of it. That's the wrong choice of words. But he's withdrawn from the fight. And I get it. Listen, I don't blame him. Okay? I don't blame him because he's worked so hard to become the number one contender, knocked out Robert Whittaker, and he's fought tooth and nail to be in that position. But hey, maybe if he goes out there and fights Isreal Adesanya with an injury and he loses that fight, he might never get another title fight ever again. So tickets went on sale, right, recently. And the event still sold out in 13 minutes in Sydney, Australia. That's how much the Australians love the sport, and that's how big of a star Isreal Adesanya is. Because even though there was no main event announced, we all knew, more than likely, 99%, Isreal Adesanya is going to be on that. And now, according to the internet, if you do a Google search, you will see everywhere Isreal Adesanya will defend his belt against Sean Strickland.
Isreal Adesanya defends his middleweight title against fifth-ranked Sean Strickland.
Now, of course, Sean Strickland, loudmouth, very funny, does the man dance, just recently beat Abus Magomedov, put himself in pole position outside Dricus du Plessis because Isreal Adesanya's beat everyone else. And as I say, according to the Tinterweb, that is the next fight that's going down for Isreal Adesanya, UFC 293 in Sydney, Australia. And I'm excited for it. I really am. Listen, I love watching Izzy fight. Sean will bring a fresh perspective, a fresh challenge, and a name that he hasn't faced yet. Simple as that. And let me tell you, the build-up will be fantastic. Not as good, not as nasty as the one with Dricus would have been because there was all kinds of politics involved in that one. But Sean Strickland has been going at Isreal Adesanya for quite some time, calling him the Chinese champion.
I want to fight the first and only Chinese champion. Let's do this.
Criticizing him for his love of anime.
No man that beats off the cartoons is going to beat me.
And all this type of stuff. Even when Sean Strickland was fighting Alex Pereira, he was going back and forth with Isreal Adesanya. So there's no love lost. They're going to talk a ton of shit. They're going to build it up. It's going to be hype. And it's going to be great. It'll be a good fight. But I don't think Sean Strickland gets it done. And neither do a lot of people, including one, Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland was talking about the fight between Isreal and Sean. He said styles make fights, and Strickland doesn't really like to get hit with big kicks, and Izzy has cardio. Magomedov didn't have any, obviously. With Strickland versus Izzy, Strickland likes to do the man dance, but I don't think he has enough dance moves to dance with Isreal Adesanya. I think Izzy picks him apart. Izzy picks du Plessis apart. It'll probably be shit. Little leg kicks, a few push kicks. Every once in a while, he'll throw something big and spinning. Izzy has more chances of knocking out Strickland because Strickland will take more chances than du Plessis does. That's an interesting take from Kevin Holland, and gotta say, he's probably not wrong. He's probably not far off the money. Now, Strickland looked great against Abus Magomedov, put together a vicious combination in round two after having a tough opening round, okay, but he went out there in two, Abus was tired, and he unleashed with a furious combination. So look, listen, I think the fight will be fantastic. It's already sold out. The Australians are going to go mad for it, and him being from New Zealand, he's going to be one of their own, almost, and it's going to be a tremendous fight. The thing is, it's going to suck for Dricus du Plessis. That's the fight that I wanted to see, not only because of the nastiness, not because of the beef, the shit talk, getting in the ring and shouting at one another and all the rest of it, because Dricus du Plessis has earned it. He knocked out Robert Whittaker in sensational style, dropped him with the jab, followed it up and firmly cemented himself as the number one contender. And he's done it the hard way against Derek Brunson, against Darren Till and a bunch of other people on his come up. So that's the fight I want to see, but Strickland's not a bad replacement. And Strickland will show up. Listen, I think on the feet he is outmatched, skill set wise, but this is two human beings. And Sean Strickland's been in there with many great fighters and he's found a way to win. Now, Jared Cannonier got a split decision victory over him. Sean thinks that he won. A lot of people actually still think that Sean Strickland deserved to win that fight. Anthony Smith, the Lionheart man himself, who I do my podcast with, believe you me, he believes Sean Strickland won that fight. I don't know. It was real close. It was one of those split decisions. But regardless, he's got the fight. If Sean could take Isreal Adesanya down, this could be a really interesting fight because Sean, I've trained with him myself. He's got tremendous cardio. He can go all day. And he has a very economical style to go a long time, to go the distance, because he uses a lot of jabs. He looks for openings and only really exerts himself when he sees the openings. But he's got tremendous grappling. I've trained with him. His ground game is very, very good. Very dangerous. Has a very underrated ground game. Brilliant sweeps and obviously very good submissions. But he doesn't have the best wrestling. I don't think he has the wrestling to take down an Isreal Adesanya because Robert Whittaker couldn't really take him down and hold him down. Yoel Romero couldn't do it. And a whole host of others, including Derek Brunson and pretty much everyone that he fought. Ever since he signed with the UFC, his first fight, I think, was Rob Wilkinson. Wilkinson was trying to take him down. He couldn't succeed. Anyone that even has taken him down, Izzy's found a way to get straight back to his feet immediately. And that's a skill in itself. And it shows how seriously he takes this game because he knows people want to take him down. So there it is. There is your main event. Dricus du Plessis will have to wait. We knew that anyway. Sean Strickland steps in. Do you think he has the balls? Do you think he will do the man dance? Do you think he'll stand toe-to-toe? Or do you think he'll actually try and shoot a takedown? Because you never know. The element of surprise. I don't think Izzy will expect Sean to shoot a double leg takedown, but he might just do that. Set it up with the jabs. Boom, boom. 1, 2. Drop a level. Drive into the fence. Get your hands together. When you get the hands together, you can pick someone up and put them down pretty easily. But that's the hard part. And of course, Izzy's defended that stuff many, many times. So there it is. There's the main event. UFC 293, Isreal Adesanya versus Sean Strickland. But underneath it, there's a very, very good undercard as well. Taito Avasa won a fan favorite, the king of the shoey, coming from Western Sydney himself. It made sense that he was going to be on the card. He's going up against Alexander Volkov, another striker. That will be a fun matchup. Jamie Malarkey, also Australian, against John McDessie, decent striker. Kai Kara France from New Zealand against Manel Kape. That's a sick fight. Carlos Olberg, a teammate of Izzy, going up against Da Un Jung. Tyson Pedro, another one of the guys from Australia, against Anton Turkal. Justin Taffer, Austin Lane, Jack Jenkins, Chepi Mariscal, Shane Young, Gabriel Miranda, Mike Diamond versus Charlie Radke, Vivian Araujo versus Casey O'Neill, who is Scottish but lived in Australia for a very, very long time, has a lot of family down there and things like that. In fact, she might even still live in Australia. And if she does, fair play to her, because Scotland's amazing. I love Scotland. The people are fantastic. The sense of humour is brilliant. I love the accent. I love everything about Scotland, the scenery, the architecture, but the weather's shit. So if Casey O'Neill lives down in Australia, fair play to her. But there it is. There's your main event. Sean Strickland versus Isreal Adesanya. What do you think? Is Sean Strickland going to get knocked out? Because you can make that argument because he fought Alex Pereira, a man that Izzy just knocked out. Right? And Pereira put him to sleep with the left hook. The first shot that he landed, really. Jab to the body, jab to the body. That brings the hands down. Boom. Massive left hook. That put Sean to sleep. Or do you believe that Sean will walk him down? He will frustrate Izzy. He will give him no room to maneuver and maybe kind of get him off guard. Maybe hit him with a takedown. Maybe pull off a massive, mega upset. If Sean Strickland beats Isreal Adesanya, that will be one of the biggest upsets that we've ever seen because Isreal Adesanya is getting better and better all the time. The reason he's getting better is because of Alex Pereira and Robert Whittaker. Alex Pereira forced him to up his game. Pereira beat him in kickboxing a couple of times, then took his belt off him in the UFC, and he steps right back in there with him. I mean, that man's got balls to do that, but he improved because of that. And then outside of that, he's got Robert Whittaker. A man that he knows is dangerous. A man that he had beaten before, and he beat a second time as well. But he knew that was coming for a third. And a man that's very good at wrestling, that has forced him to get better at his takedown defense as well. So because of all that, we're dealing with the best version ever of Isreal Adesanya. And that's why I say, if Sean Strickland can go down under to pretty much his backyard and he can beat Isreal Adesanya, that would be the biggest upset, in my opinion, in UFC history. What do you think? Am I talking out of my goddamn mind? Let me know in the comments, subscribe, ring the bell, and I'll see you soon.